Hello everyone, welcome back to Everybody Loves Raymond, Hui. This is Series 3, Episode 1, Part 1. Sorry for the complications, but I shall explain why. It's the fourth quarantine I'm doing in China. This is the first time I came through the Shenzhen Bay port, however. The Part 1, I shall explain my journey getting over to this side. I actually arrived in this hotel technically 3 days ago. I've just been too lazy and too tired to do anything until today. The Part 1 explained what I need to do before I came and how I got through the customs, both the Hong Kong and China side of Shenzhen Bay port, so that just in case you're coming over, you know what to expect. Okay, since the policy change earlier this year in July 2022, I was able to get my lucky number after about a week of trying. This lucky number represents you have now a quota for a quarantine hotel room in Shenzhen, and only with this number you're allowed to go through the port. Without this, they would just send you away. There's no way of you trying to buy anything from people at the border. So basically, I took a taxi on the 3rd of August. I lived in Mid-Level West, about 40 kilometers. I arrived in Shenzhen Port Bay just before 9:30 in the morning. And as soon as I get off the taxi, there was some health worker from the Hong Kong side checking that, make sure that I have the reservation number, I've got my PCR printout and my ID cards and the China return permit before I'm allowed to move on. Before I say what's happening next, I want to tell you that you will need a PCR test from the Hong Kong side 24 hours before you're crossing the border. And that is a different one from the normal one that you do. You need a color printout. You have to pay for it. It's $240. You need that piece of paper to go through China. So as soon as they check all my IDs, I went over into the Hong Kong border side. The first thing I would need to do is to do another PCR test in the Hong Kong side of the custom. When I've done the test, I have to wait for my result. I literally wait exactly 1 hour for my result to come out, and then they send me a signal, said that a text, saying that I'm negative. I'm allowed to go through into the China side. I guess this is a requirement from the Chinese government. So I went over to the Chinese side. There was a series of QR code you have to scan. First of all, I need to go through the custom to scan my QR code to fill in the form of my health declaration. And then if everything comes out, okay, you get the black QR code. And then after that, you go through to the next stage where you would do a China side PCR test. The only difference is in the China PCR test, I don't have to wait for the result. They would give me a form, and then I go through the queue, follow the corridor, basically move along, and then I have to scan another custom declaration QR code form. And this time, I got to get a blue QR code before I can move on. And then when you get through all of that and you go through the actual customer checking all your documentations, and then after that you then go through the luggage check, and then they would assign you to a bus, because I don't live in Shenzhen. I don't have a permanent address, so they send me to a centralized location for quarantine, which is where I am now, a place called Hui Zhou. I waited, when I get that destination badge, I waited 1 hour 45 minutes for my bus to finally, take off. And the journey is about over an hour. I'm in a place called Hui Zhou. I don't know how far it is away from Shenzhen Bay Port, but a very long way. And basically, when I get off only when I get off in the hotel that I know where I was. And the whole time I was asking the people which hotel I was staying, nobody tells me. So I literally find the name when I arrive in the hotel. Pretty much like the last time I was in Chengdu. Once when I got to the hotel, everything was so efficient here. I didn't even have a chance to ask anybody anything. You literally go one by one. You get off the bus, they spray you with detergents or whatever, pick up your baggage, spray you again, you shift along to a window, then you get given your room key and you just move to the lift. Like, very efficient. Anyway, this is the end of my part 1. And in my part 2, I will tell you a little bit about the hotel and the place that I'm staying in. Thank you for watching.